Let me add to stream. Yeah. So, hey, YouTube people, very sorry I was black screen there. I fixed it now. I forgot in this technology, I have to add the screen in for each platform. So YouTube's up and rolling. Just got that word. Thanks for Mike Scarborough working IS. Esteban is on YouTube now instead of Facebook, man. Esteban, he's been one of our first early adopters of these live shows. Let's see what he's got to say. I'm holding it down in the YouTube slubs. That's what I got, Big Mike. I thought it was my connection. Yeah. It should be up on YouTube now. I apologize to the handful of YouTube viewers. Hey, user error, it happens. I never claimed to be a smart guy. But anyways, so on my picks, I never try to just stir the pot. I never do. I always try to be very logical based off of what I've actually seen, looking at the stats, looking at the play, look how the scheme matches up with the other scheme, okay? And there's certain schematic things that in this game had me scared to death that I was going to have to go out there and give some ridiculous score. Because you look at factors like motivation. How many times in that locker room do you think they've aired the footage of Roll Tide what? Bleep you. That's Ed Ogeron. That's not some player, some walk-on, some punter, which we'll tease on the punter a little bit later. Zach Von Rosenberg is my favorite LSU player of all time, so I'm going to tease on him a little bit later on. But that's your head ball coach over and over and over again. Motivation at an all-time high. Then you look at what weaknesses, how good a team is just on paper, really. You look at it, and Bama is probably the best team in the country, and LSU is toward the bottom of the pack in the SEC based on what I've seen. And the weaknesses that Bama could exploit, I look at things like slot receivers running midfield, like seam routes or post routes. That's been a massive weakness for LSU all year, because you can't use Elias Ricks and you can't use Derek Stingley Jr. to cover them. And schematically, it's been an issue where, on those guys, they've either got one of those outside linebackers picking up one of those slot guys, and they have a bad angle and they run a seam route. And then the safety support is, who knows where the safety support is. But a lot of times also you'll have a guy like Jacoby Stevens up close to the line of scrimmage, faking a blitz, picking up man coverage. And I've gone ad nauseum about why that's a bad matchup. Y'all, my prediction was going to be as ugly of a prediction as you really can predict. Not because necessarily, this is the worst team versus the best team I've ever seen. No, of course not, y'all. I mean, this Bama team and look, any team playing football this year, by the way, trash compared to an average season. I do not care. You don't have the practice reps. The defenses across everywhere are piss poor. It is a bad year for quality football. This is not a high quality football season. That being said, it's not that the difference between LSU was just the most dramatic gap ever. It's the motivation to me. Is Saban really going to pull his starters with a lead in the third quarter? Roll Tide what? No, indeed. I think Bama would have scored in the 60s, and LSU probably would have scored about 17 or so. Let me get to your comments, and I'm going to move to my next point. But before I do that, I really want to thank Jordan Spector, Spector Sports Art. How awesome. I mean, he did it again, y'all. Do you see the Burrow? Okay, y'all know, every fan watching this knows exactly what the Burrow EAUX jersey, they know exactly what that's from. Championship logo in the background, confetti. He's got the goat towel on, y'all. There's the ring. Show me the ring. Championship, Clemson. You knew exactly what these moments are for. You can realize the celebration from Bama on the third down run. This captures so much life, and you don't even have to pay for it. You can, SpectorSportsArt.com, follow him on social media. I tagged his page, Spectre Sports LLC. He's also got Instagram at Spectre Sports Art and Twitter. So go give him a follow because he's always putting out cool stuff, including a bunch of cool LSU stuff. So give him a follow. He'll have links to go buy this anywhere you go find that. But also the link in this video, you can register to win that for free. Rooney the Tiger for free, who's a local artist here in town, but this is included in the bundle. They're doing a collaborative piece to kind of help get local artist exposure. And the famous, this is his most, keep in mind, Jordan's from Philadelphia, y'all. This is his most sold piece of artwork ever. Burrow, which I've declared this the coolest moment in human history. Joe Burrow smoking a cigar after getting 65 touchdowns, first player ever to have 6,000 yards, wins the Heisman, beats Bama, greatest of greatest of greatest. This is something you hang in your living room. Everybody's going to say, wow, that's cool. I can't wait till they make this a statue, which they might. I talked to Joe Burrow's dad about if this should be the statue. He was a little biased. He thinks the Burrow jersey should be the statue, but I would go with this as the statue, y'all. Oh, boy. So, look, all of this, these are the actual paintings you would be putting in your house. This size, it's this one. Okay, and all three of them. That's what we would be removing them from our studio and putting it directly into your living room or man cave, wherever you want to put them. It's awesome no matter where it goes. Just go click the link, and there's a few ways. It takes like 2-3 minutes, y'all, and there's so many ways to increase your chances. So, anyways, thank you, Jordan Spector, for sponsoring this show. Our sponsors are 100% why we're able to have this high-quality studio that I have the blessing of being able to work out the kinks in. So thank God for those. Let's see here. Oh, a bunch of people saying happy birthday. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Jason Bordelon. Did Miles just quit? Absolutely not. Miles Brennan, I cannot criticize him or his character at all in the least bit. He has been a grade A hard worker. He has played well. He has been a leader. And he was tough as hell to play 3 quarters and throw for 350 yards with a torn abdominal. No, he has not quit. He is very much so a strong member of this team. Let's see here. What's Miles' injury? I was on YouTube, but when it came over, had a few YouTubers funnel over to Facebook. Hey, that's cool. That's why we multi-stream. Someone comment either on YouTube or Facebook if the YouTube is fixed. I haven't gotten any comments on YouTube since then, but if you're on YouTube, let me know if it's working. And I believe I did. I had to turn a button on. Let's see here. It's a good thing if they default the Alabama game. Hey, look, I'm not going to lie. There's my wife calling me for birthday dinner, y'all. So she's ready. But we'll deal with that later. We got LSU football to talk about, y'all. She thinks she can buy me a PS5 and just get to boss me around on my own live show. What is this? Good thing they default the Alabama game. You know, I kind of floated as a joke a couple weeks ago that because of how ugly I thought the game was going to be, it might be best case scenario for LSU to not play the game. And it's obviously bad for the program in terms of losing lots of revenue. And of course, LSU, this is not coming from LSU fans. It's not coming from me even per se. It's not coming from LSU itself for sure. But you do have to look at the advantages of possibly avoiding a shellacking. But you're also avoiding a chance to really impress people and show, okay, well, Auburn was just a gimmick, which, in my opinion, there is an argument that it could have been a fluke loss against Auburn because even when I talked to Coach O in the postgame, I asked him, Coach, your defense was playing lights out for a quarter and a half, and then 2 turnovers on offense, it's 14-0, and then they just – turn into a rag doll. What happened? And he said, I do think they lost some of their energy, passion, whatever you want to call it. It shouldn't be that way, but it was. Well, if energy really is the issue and motivation is the issue, there's an argument that, okay, well, all you have to do is motivate them better. Get them really You think they won't be motivated against Bama? No, they'll be motivated against Bama. But then you got to say, okay, well, offensively, you got to fix things. And offense was ugly. The offense had carried this team all season long, and they ran out of carrying ability last week. Let's see here. You can bet after last year, Saban has been excited about trying to put up 40 on this defense before halftime. Trenton Eubanks, 1,000% correct. Mike Robichaux, good show, ball. Keep it up. Appreciate you, Mike Robichaux. Let's see here. Your score sounds right to me, except I don't think LSU would score 17 with a freshman QB. Well, James Phillips, gosh darn it. Maybe it wouldn't be a freshman quarterback to put up 17. Maybe it would be a 30-year-old quarterback who's not even a quarterback, who's a punter. Zachary Von Rosenberg, y'all. Coach O announced today he's the backup quarterback, okay? Back when me and Zach were playing high school ball together, because we're the same age, okay, he's actually a year older than me, grandpa, okay? But back when we were playing ball together back in the Gap, y'all, Zach was a quarterback at Zachary High, and he was a pitcher, and he could launch it. And Coach O said he's the backup quarterback this week. That means he beat out every single walk-on on this team, or maybe the walk-ons are being quarantined or whatever. I know they have some quality walk-ons on this team. So that to me is very surprising that he would be serving as the backup quarterback. And I have inside sources telling me he's doing very well. Just shockingly well as a punter taking over as the backup quarterback. He's showing arm strength, making plays, very raw and unrefined, but they're saying that, I mean, this is, I'm not going to say, Heisman winner or anything like that, but this is a dude. Okay. So, the bar is set pretty low when you're talking about your punter taking over as quarterback, y'all. But I'd say, based on what I'm hearing from inside sources, he's much better than what that bar would be insinuating. Let's see here. My confusion for the season is still with the DBs. Corey Raymond is the FB coach, or a DB coach. Why is he not giving the commands? Look, man, first off, Corey Raymond mostly is over cornerbacks, and his cornerbacks are playing balls out, man. I mean, they're balling. There's no issue with the cornerbacks. That being said, the defensive coordinates the defense. And that's how that works. The defensive coordinator in most situations answers to one person, head ball coach. And Coach O's philosophy is criticize it if you want, but it is what it is. That's the formula he sold to LSU was, I'm going to go out and hire the best coordinators in the country. I don't do X's and O's. He recognized that as his weakness, which is outstanding when a coach does recognize his weaknesses, because a lot of coaches have too much ego to recognize that, but it's very important that he does. That being said, he has no coordinator experience, and he's not an X's and O guy, and he's recognized that. But anytime that's the case, you're one bad coordinator hire away from having a bad season. And, I get there's a lot of excuses, but it appears that might be what we're dealing with here, guys. So it is what it is. A lot more happy birthday comments. Eric Noonan, thank you. Esteban, congrats on the PS5. Mrs. AG came through on the birthday. Happy birthday, too. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Alyssa, if you're listening out there, Alyssa, which sometimes she does, you done good. You done real good. I mean, I got people real jealous of me. I can't wait to be in line at Best Buy at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Let's see here. Zach with that cannon of an arm. That's from Esteban. Yeah, that's the thing is, we're talking about a minor league baseball pitcher. Dude's going to be able to launch it. And now he's got old man strength. So, just don't be shocked if he goes out there and he doesn't look like a punter. I'm not saying the dude's going to throw for 3,000 yards, but dude, if he has to. And by the way, he might never get a chance because there is a good chance that the quarterbacks get unquarantined. And guys like Max Johnson will be back, but even so, they're razor thin as is. Let's see here. I'd always wondered why they don't pull a trick pass with him or do a punter pass. Esteban, they did it in 2018 against Auburn. It was a miserable failure, but it was kind of like a Tebow jump pass, so hard to really judge. Trenton Eubanks. Mock was an old man quarterback that no one had any faith in. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, look, there's something to be said about having someone who's just the sheer age and experience. I mean, mentally, they're very developed and smart, and they, got ability still. I mean, a lot of guys 30 years old is their NFL prime. So there is a lot to be said for that, especially on the college level. And you can't really, it's one of those deals where how do you truly evaluate if a prospect like that would have been a good quarterback or not? You don't. So who knows? Happy birthday. Thank you, John L. Taylor. Let's see here. This team has zero leadership or discipline, laughing on sidelines while getting smoked by Auburn. After getting smoked by Auburn, go to a Halloween party, and a huge portion of the team gets COVID contact tracing. Stop blaming coaches for lazy, undisciplined players. Can't maintain assignments, play with leverage, set the edge, all talent, zero focus. That sounds like a football coach from Chad Michael. That is, it's very straightforward. I was a different kind of football player when I played ball. Okay. I despised anytime anyone would be happy, laughing, just whatever on the sidelines or on the bus. Or if you have the audacity to do an after party and be hype and hollering after a loss, football ain't like other sports. You don't get 35 tries at this, people. You get 10 in high school. College, you get 12, but one of those ruins your season. If you are someone, and this is my personal opinion, if you're someone who can lose and then be immediately happy and be partying. Now, I'm not saying this is what happened with this team, because it could have been a Halloween party and they showed up like drinking their misery away. Okay. It's not necessarily, a lot of times these situations, it's how you're doing. But if you're hooping and hollering, dancing and singing it while your team just got your butt whooped, that means you are inherently content with losing. And by definition, if you are content with losing, you are a loser. So that's my take on athletes hooping and hollering during a loss. You lost. Get better. Focus on yourself. Okay. If I mess up my job, I'm not sitting here laughing, or whatever, and I'm talking about major mess ups now. I'm not talking about, I missed a read and I threw it to the fullback instead of the wide open post. I'm talking, I just threw pick six. Metaphorically to what I do in my job every day, I failed at doing my job and I'm not happy at all. And that's the same mentality with being an athlete, I think. Let's see here. So great comment there by Chad Michael. By the way, guys, we are going to wrap up here in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all last call for any comments, things you want to talk about, and I'll promise to get to them. Let's see here. Esteban. Oh, that's right. Morrow ruined it. JK. Yeah, Foster Morrow. Hey, I like Foster, man. He played with one of my buddies. Actually, the buddy who helped me set up this new streaming setup. He was a teammate of his, and Foster was a good guy. I got to interview him when I worked at LSU, and he was a freshman there. He's actually a real sharp, well-spoken guy. One last time tonight, guys. I really want to thank Jordan Spector of Spector Sports Art. Perfection photo here. You got to go get one, guys. This is really cool. So many details. I would partner that with the famous Burrow. Okay, guys. And if you really, whatever, if you don't have these already, which if you do, let me know. tweet at me, send me a picture, something like I want to see how people are using these, but I know thousands of people already do have them. But if you don't already have it and you don't feel like buying Christmas present, y'all, any LSU fan Christmas present, the coolest present they're going to get. I promise you, dude. This is right up there with the PS5, y'all, and this costs a lot less than the PS5 on the slick. Or enter for free to win this, and Rooney the Tiger, which I'm about to pull up the screen. Let's see here. And Rooney, which is a nice little, my wife really liked this one, y'all. Fun little painting here. He's got the tiger shades. And she paints these live on air, so it's a really cool thing. She started doing it during the pandemic. So get y'all some of this. I want to thank Jordan for sponsoring the show. He's just been our season all season long. I really appreciate him. Really cool sponsor. Let's see here. All right, last few comments here before we wrap it up tonight. Let's see here. Oh, and I'll get to YouTube too. Let me check YouTube too. Last call on YouTube. YouTube's good. Let's see here. Yeah, looks like I was black screened on the first bit on YouTube and everybody left and went to Facebook. So that's that. We will be better next year. Gary Williams, you better. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, this team's down to like 60-something scholarship players. They're still recruiting at a high level. Almost no one except for Terrace Marshall should be leaving early. I mean, by no means. Let's see here. Trenton Eubanks. I live in Starkville now. I'm married a Mississippi State grad. That photo of Joe hangs in our house. Trenton, that is awesome. Comment, take a picture and comment it. Seriously, I want to see it, okay? If not, if sometimes I won't let you do it on here. I think it should, but if not, just go tweet it, put in another post. I want to see what you're doing with that, dude. That is awesome. A great troll job there, Trenton. I'm really blessed to be married to an LSU grad. That's where we met at LSU. Both of were journalism kids at LSU. But, you know, not everybody has that blessing, the privilege of having a Tiger spouse. So great A troll job. Thank you, Trenton. Let's see here. Those are awesome. Thank you, John L. I can't agree more, dude. Like, on the slick, Jordan's a cool guy. Glad to have him a sponsor. I'd be happy to take on any sponsor. Wink, wink, anybody watching. But this was what it's pretty freaking cool to pick up as a sponsor. I mean, great artwork, man. I love it. I don't just, you know, like I said, these hang in my man cave. These aren't like, I'm not up here telling you like, oh, it's cool, you go get one. Like, I own these. Like, I think they're cool. That's why I reached out to him initially. I just thought it was cool. Let's see here. Tiger Bay Live being blessed with Tre'Davious White. Yeah, Tre'Davious White. I probably shared it on my page, and I'm friends with Tre'Davious. Tre'Davious was I got to do a few stories on him when I worked at LSU Sports, and he was a really cool guy. I really like Trey. So appreciate you for watching, Trey White. My wife, happy birthday. Let's go get a steak. Well, I guess I got to go get my birthday steak, y'all. So here's the deal, y'all. My wife loves joining in, and then Mike joins in on her bullying me. So Trenton's, he's working on that. Dude, seriously, I'll be so hyped. Do it. I'm going to wrap up my video here, but go ahead and leave a comment. I'll be freaking excited to see it there. I'm so glad that y'all have these. I think every LSU fan should have at least one of these in theirs. But if you want all three, just link in the description. Go get you one. Guys, appreciate y'all for watching. My first time in the Tiger Bait Live studio. I'm going to get YouTube right next time, and it's going to be a good time. Hope everybody enjoyed the quality of the show and everything. Y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all next week when LSU has an opponent. And what's up, YouTube? I'm going to leave y'all too. And